What's up, guys? Daniel Elias Fishing. Welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button. But what we're going to talk about today is the top 6 baits that you should have tied on in the month of October. So I'm going to get right into it. Number one, probably the number one bait I think you should have tied on in October is a spinnerbait. A spinnerbait is a killer bait this time of year because the bass are moving up shallow. They're getting into cover. They're moving into the wood. They're chasing bait. So tie yourself on a spinnerbait. My favorite are these. This is the Berkley Power Blade. It's kind of a newer spinnerbait. If you haven't had a chance to try it, they're really awesome. Every one of them was tuned exactly for the application. And what I mean by that is, well, number one, there's a couple of different models, right? There's the standard model, and then there's compact models that are quite a bit smaller and used for more finesse style applications. The blade sizes have been tuned for each one of those. So you can pick the one that you like, but what I really like about this bait is the wire is very flexible, but it's also very strong. So you're not going to run into issues of it breaking on you. And then secondly, the hook is a super sticky, sharp Berkley Fusion hook that does not bend out, and it's stout. And you can put a really big full-size trailer on there. So if you haven't tried the Berkley Power Blade, I suggest you give it a shot. It's a really, really good bait. Now, number two, the second bait that I always have tied on in the month of October is a flippin' bait. And for me, this month, that's going to be the Berkley Pit Boss. I love this Pit Boss. The 4-inch model is really the one that's going to do all the damage. But anytime I'm flipping in the fall, I love this bait because it mimics crawfish, shad, and bluegill. It kind of looks like, looks like all of them. And I like it because of that. Now, if we're around the full moon, I'll stick to more of a green pumpkin color, like a green pumpkin red. It imitates crawdads really well. When we get closer or further away from the full moon and you don't have a lot of moon out and the crawdads aren't moving around as much, I'll go to something that can really mimic kind of everything, whether that's going to be a bluegill or a shad or a crawfish, because they still do move around. I'll get to those lighter colors when we're away from the full moon. So try the Berkley Pit Boss. I think you're going to love it. Tie that thing on in October. Now, number 3, and probably my favorite bait to throw this month, is going to be a crankbait. Specifically for me, that's going to be the Berkley Money Badger. Now, I got lucky. I was able to field test this bait well before it came out on the market, and I had a lot of success. I made quite a bit of money, won some tournaments, cashed some checks in tournaments, specifically on this Money Badger crankbait before everybody else got their hands on it. So try this, tie it on. It's really, really good around rock. It comes through wood fairly well too, actually, but it's got that great hunting action that you look for in the fall. Try the Berkley Money Badger. Now, number 4, one that you may or may not have seen. It's all new. It's the Berkley Shaddy Swimbait. Okay, it kind of, and I'll pull it out of the package so you can look at it, but it kind of follows the success of the Gilly, but now in a shad shape or a shad style shape. So this is going to be the Shaddy, and you can rig it just like the Gilly if you want to run a hook through the side where it'll still run upright as it's coming through cover and it'll stay weedless. Or if you watch my earlier video on how I like to rig swim baits when I'm in more open cover, is with a treble on the bottom. But I think if you give the Shaddy a try, especially in clear water, you're really, really, really going to like it. So check that bait out. It should hit stores in late October, so you'll see it show up here pretty quick. And I'll put links to all this stuff in the bottom, guys, so feel free to click the links. The best place to purchase these when they come out is directly off the Berkley site, and I appreciate you purchasing them through my links because it helps me, it helps the channel, so thank you for that. And hey, leave a comment down there. Let me know what baits you've tried and if they work. Now, moving on, number 5 is a jerkbait. And specifically, I like the Stunner, but the Stunner 112 plus 1s. This is the Berkley Stunner jerkbait, but the plus 1, or the deep diving model. So it has a little bit bigger bill on there, which allows it to get a lot deeper. Now, jerkbait gets good in November too, but I like the deeper model in October when the fish haven't really moved very, very shallow. They're shallower, but not close to the surface. So that +1 model really works well. Check those out. Tie one on next time you go out. I think you're really going to like that if you haven't thrown it. They come with awesome hooks right out of the package too, so you don't have to change them, which is a big benefit. Now, my 6th bait. I'm going to throw this for big fish specifically, and I don't really talk about this bait a lot, but I always have it tied on in October. You're not going to get a lot of bites on it, but when you do, generally, it's going to be a very, very big bass, and that's a rat, okay? But for me, specifically, it's this rat, and it's a big boy. This is a rat made by Woodrow Lures, so it's a Woodrow rat. It's a big bait. It takes a big rod, and I throw it on braid. So 65 or 80 pound Berkley X5 braid, I'll throw this bait on. But it just slow walks around some of that cover, and it's the action is amazing. It's very tantalizing. That Woodrow rat has always worked really well for me. They're hard to get a hold of, and they're not cheap, I'm not going to lie, which is part of the reason why I throw it on braid. But when you get bit on it, it's probably going to be a really, really big fish. So, guys, I hope this helps you out. Try those 6 baits this month, in the month of October. Let me know what you think. And if you appreciate the content, like always, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. Check out those links, and I'm going to see you on the next video.